Good evening, everybody. Welcome to League of Extraordinary Inventors. I'm your host, Mike from Faraday Research. It is Free Energy Friday. It is Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Welcome to the show. As always, we got Lulu on and we got Nathan on. And hopefully Philip will jump on. I know he was talking about going on holidays. I don't know if it was this week or next week. Just for a show note for everybody, next week there will not be a show. There's a possibility, I think Bernie might run the show Friday night because I'm going to be in Calgary. So I might actually meet up with Bernie's at some point on my trip there. And so it should be pretty cool. So I guess we'll get the show on the road here. Lulu, did you want to touch base on a couple of things you were talking about there?
Yeah, I could start off like I was doing a search on something called the up UPD. It's like DeepSeek, the company that took over DeepSeek in the United States. And I was asking it a question about if I was looking where on planet Earth could I stand to look, and it would show me the future, like and it said that anywhere on Earth that we're always looking in the past, but that is incorrect because the solar system has a movement, and it moves through through space. Anyway, I did my own research, and it comes up to that if you are wherever you're on Earth, if it's above the horizon line, when you're looking at the constellation Cygnus, between Cygnus and Virgo, that space, that is the future space of where our solar system would be. So whenever we're looking in that direction, but it has to be over the horizon line for us to see it. That would be the space for the future because it follows something called the Great Attractor, and the whole solar system's motion moves in according to the microwave background radiation, and that's where how that energy highway for our solar system it moves. I could read later on. I'll bring it up, and I could read the technicalities and the equations of that. But in an overall idea, that's where the future is. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, there's Bernie.
What's up, Bernie?
Did I just say hi before I hop on a plane? Love y'all.
Have a safe trip.
You're heading to. Oh, okay, that was fast. Just saying hi. Just bounced off. That's hilarious.
That's great.
Oh man,
You did a flyby.
Yeah. So I stumbled on something this week that's really cool, and I want to talk about it. This professor from the University of Arkansas has come up with a 0-point energy device that I think has a lot. It's the best thing I've seen to date as far as 0 point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just bear with me here for a second, and I'll do a screen share. He's got a video that kind of explains what it is in his words. So just bear with me here for a second. I'll do a screen share.
Same thing, but I will give you something. There's something amazing going on here. I can put my finger on it. I can take that empty capacitor, hook it back up to the surface.
My bad.
Wrong one?
Yeah. Yeah, Nathan, if you want to talk, I'll find the link again. I don't know, something happened. I lost the link.
That game was like 1942, except for instead of a plane, you had people.
Yeah.
This is the new AI. I don't know if you guys could see that on my phone. It's called UPDF AI. What I was talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like see, every time it keeps reloading my whatever I asked it. Every time I open it, I found this through Wikipedia. I don't have to log in. I don't have to have a username. I don't have to have anything. I just click on it. It shows me the, and how I could ask it questions. Like right there. Yeah, but there's no login, nothing. It's just I just clicked a link and it connected me to it. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay. I think I've got it sorted out. Let's try this again. Screen share. Okay, here it is. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, University of Arkansas professor Paul, sorry, I'm going to kill this name, Thebiado, has been studying graphene since discovery in 2004. A single layer of carbon atoms arranged in a honeycomb lattice structure. Graphene exists as a state constant motion. So when it's one layer thick, the graphene is actually moving from the quantum fluctuations of 0 point. And it's also been observed at absolute zero. So even though it's at absolute zero, the graphene still waves around and moves. So based on that, he has come up with a chip and a circuit that harnesses the motion of the graphene to create electrical energy. So I'll play this little video here.
In this animation, on the left-hand side, there's freestanding graphene. The freestanding graphene is so thin and flexible, it's always moving. This motion, called Brownian motion, creates a noisy electrical signal. In response, our special circuit with diodes produces a temporary, nonlinear, direct current that charges the storage capacitors. Before the capacitors can discharge and reach thermodynamic equilibrium, we disconnect them from the circuit and use this stored charge to light the bulbs.
Very cool.
Okay. Just wiggle the graphene a little bit and light the bulbs up.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because it's 1 nanometer thick, it is a single layer of graphene. And that creates a potential. And it's because the 0 point fluctuations are so tiny, so insignificant that almost no meters can read it, except for special laboratory equipment. But the graphene, because it's 1 nanometer thick, it's only a 2D object. It's not 3D like our 3-dimensional. It's a 2D object. So because it's at that tiny of a nano scale, those fluctuations have an influence on the graphene, just like with the Casimir effect. When you got the two plates and the force of the 0 point will force those plates together. This is kind of the same thing, but it's using a single nano layer of graphene, and it's waving up and down. It's moving. So
even if you put it on a stable surface, it's natural.
It's still
moving. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And also at absolute zero, which is minus 470 degrees C, there's still a thermo potential difference enough that graphene still moves. That's 0 point energy.
But that's small of an amount?
It works out. He's done all the math. It works out to 1 watt per square meter, which is double the strength of a windmill, but 5 times less than a solar panel. Okay. Now the chip is only this big, so you would have to scale it up or make thousands upon thousands of these little chips,
Hmm.
add them all together to get a big potential. But it's coming from 0 point. It's basically a self-recharging battery. Where have we heard that one before?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. So this is real tech. It's they just got a grant last year for $904,000 US. So they got a pretty good grant to continue the technology development of this. And I think it's the real deal. I think this is really quote unquote 0 point energy. And it's scalable, totally scalable. And, they've only been working on it a few years now. So, this was just published in the last year. So there's still a long way to go in development. It's just going to get better and better and better, right?
That's pretty cool.
It does have a lot of good applications, I believe. Like
Sure.
especially in
Satellites,
yes, because
portable electronic
it's
devices,
light,
sensors,
and white.
and
Yeah.
it's self-contained. You don't have to reach in, or even like heart pacemaker. Now you won't have to change battery, right?
Yeah.
Practical application.
Like
So,
we're not talking about like it necessarily to power up a rocket, but small devices that it's very hard for whatever to recharge them, or to like you said, like the pacemakers, like the satellites, like small things that are, it would be a good idea not to change the batteries too often on
yeah.
them.
I missed
Yeah.
my flight like a retard.
Did you miss your flight? Oh my God. You're the king of missing your flight.
And I've been at the airport for 7 hours, and
You
somehow
miss it.
it's like one of their clocks was effed up, and they're like, "Yeah, this is the real time." So I thought I had an extra hour, and I was like chilling outside, and oh, God.
So
Sorry,
how long
Joey,
was
I'm not spending the night tonight. Shit. I'm a
Yeah,
bummer.
you need like an escort with you to show you to the plane.
Hey, fuck shit. Oh well, that's his life.
Guide.
Much love.
Oh my God. He's got
Stop that again.
In and out.
That's hilarious.
That's the greatest. Oh,
He's
So
like
is he coming back to Canada, or is he going back
no,
to
he's supposed to go to LA tonight,
LA? Okay.
and then spend the day with Julia, and then from there he's going back to Calgary, as far as I know. So you never know with Bernie. I thought he was going to be back last week, and he's been in the States like almost 2 weeks now.
I don't think he wants to go back.
I don't. Yeah, it sounds like it.
you're getting the sun over here. You're not in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, the temperature is not that bad here. It's about 75, pushing 80. But it's supposed to be like that in Calgary when I go next week. So it's supposed to be pretty decent weather. So we're going to go to the mountains and check out Banff and that. So that should be really cool.
You know, that graphene, I think it's a way better idea, but I keep seeing just a little amount. Remember that little pole that they just turn sideways?
Yeah.
And that's what I keep thinking in my head, but I know it's better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, but you're dealing with something at the nano scale, right? You're trying to pull energy out from the nano scale. Obviously, it's going to be a small amount of energy, but there's a lot of it. So that means you have to multiply that system 100 million times to get, real working power out of it, right?
Okay. Interesting.
Like some devices need enough energy just for it to start. Like our little magnetic motors. You need that like first, and this would be so perfect for that initial start before the thing, does the rotation on its own. Like like a trigger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? That application's good for, say, you have like a battery source and you have that running in tangent with the battery. So when you're not pulling a load off the battery, that 0 point energy device is recharging that battery simultaneously, constantly going, right? It's a never-ending thing. What's good about it, it lasts forever. As long as there's 0 point energy, that thing's going to be charging up. So, yeah, like I said, it's still in the early stages of development, but they've done the proof of concept. It works. They've
Nice.
got a decent budget to work with. They got almost $1 million. So, there's hope for it. So obviously somebody's got confidence in it, right?
That and you can probably just take that graphene and coat the planes in the sky with it and pull energy directly out of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you'll probably get greater potentials up there anyways, because you're going to have the electrostatic potential in the sky.
Yeah, just got to convert it.
Yeah, convert it over, and that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be a number of systems that would go together to make one system. You know what I mean? Even Tesla said that, you could use solar power and hydro and geothermal and add them all together, and boom, you got a system that's self-sustaining, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we just put a big antenna in the sky and pull the energy from it. Well, one or the other.
Yeah, you could do that too. But the thing is, your antenna's got to be about 300 feet high to get into the kilovolt range, right?
That's okay. We'll just put it on one of those skyscrapers they keep building. Since they want to keep going higher and higher.
Yeah.
We'll just strap it to there and hope for the best, huh?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, don't touch this line on the way down.
I always see him. I always have this vision in my mind, Bernie with a kite.
That's so great. Oh man, that's amazing.
Personally, right now, I think the best way to get energy right now is atmospheric energy. That's my opinion. You just got to build these big antenna arrays, and they're getting, if you put it up, say, what was it? There's a place in Florida, Ionic Research Laboratories. They have an array right now that's sorry, I got distracted. They're about 30 meters in the air, and they're getting about 4 to 10, give or take, depending on the atmospheric conditions, kilovolts. So that's quite a bit of potential.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty good.
Yeah, so all they have to do is rectify it, dump it into, say, a capacitor bank or whatever, and then feed it into the grid, right? So
yeah.
How about if we put it on like top of like trees, long trees, where it still blends in? It doesn't,
Yeah. As long as there's no physical connection to the ground, you're okay. That's why it has to be, put in the air either by a balloon or on a giant pole that's insulated. Because the second there's a connection with the ground, that's it. All your power is gone.
Oh yeah, trees are made out of wood, and to get a pole, you have to have permits and this and that. But to use a tree, it goes inconspicuous. Nobody could, it's just a wire up there. And
yeah, it's about it works out to about 100 volts AC per meter. So
interesting.
So the higher you go, the more it produces.
Yeah. So if you're up like 300 feet, you're going to be hitting around 10 kilovolts.
Okay, that's a lot.
That's a lot of.
Hopefully you got a big mountain next to you. You could just go stick them up there.
Yeah,
you're good to go.
You need a really good insulated wire for that, otherwise they'll be discharging everywhere on you, and that is a problem. They this Ionic Research Laboratory, they created a graphene coated wire, and they actually got a patent on it. So it's a copper wire. It's a copper wire, and it's actually got graphene, I guess, painted on. I don't know if you would call it painted on. It's basically like you would like magnet wire, right? That's got the coating on it. Well, they have graphene on this wire, and that also helps with harnessing, the atmospheric energy. So
would that stick like a what do they call that? The coating that they put under your car, or not that one? The one they put on your rims.
Oh yeah, similar to that.
Like an electro coating.
Yeah, like electroplating. It would be something similar to that. I'm not too sure the process and what they use to bond it, but I know you could take graphene. If you get a good quality graphene, you mix it with India ink, You ever heard of India ink? And this stuff will basically adhere to anything, and it's like a dye. So yeah, so you could take your graphene, put a few drops of India ink in it, stir it up really good, put it into an airbrush, and then you could paint any surface with it, and you got a conductive layer. So
That's cool.
what I've been playing with that. So yeah, so if you can get it down to, say, within a couple nanometers, you could build the circuit that this guy's been working on.
Very cool.
So
wow. What's up, Jarvis? See Jarvis in the chat.
oh, Jarvis, if he wants to join us, he can. I can send him I think I
And
sent
then Bob
him.
does not like Obama.
Obama.
Okay.
All right. Obama.
You say so?
Obama.
Not here to argue with you either way.
Yeah. I guess Gerald's all tired out and didn't come on tonight. I sent him a link. Lulu didn't hear about the fallout.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Oh, Gerald and Joe were going at it a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. They were talking religion. And, you know how Gerald is. He's real set in his ways. And anything that could be perceived as going against that, then he's going to say something. And he kind of crossed the line in what he said. And Joe kind of gave it right back to him. So.
Yeah.
Oh, religion and politics.
Yeah.
Why don't you just stick to science and that's it. It's much easier conversation.
Try to.
Yeah, Nathan was trying to be Moses tonight.
I mean, you have the working for you.
Fit the part, right? Moses, what do we do?
Give me a loincloth, whatever those things are, the robe that they wear.
Moses, what do we do? You have to hold the 10 Commandments in your arm,
Oh my God, dude, that's so funny.
You're gonna have to do a cartoon of that. That's gonna have to come out at some point.
Dude, I got like 2 in the works. It's just taking a while to get them done.
Oh, you got 2 in the works, so I can't wait to
see. I was on there. You ever hear that song, Because I'm the Boss? It's an older song. It's like 10 years ago. He keeps saying he's the boss. And anyway, he does a bunch of stupid stuff every few minutes. You know what I mean? He's talking about eating food and then getting turned down by a girl. And he says he does it like a boss, right? And then he said in the end, he took his axe and chopped off his nuts and then bombed Russia and then flew into the sun. And then he was dead like a boss. Anyway, I was doing that, but I was doing it as, I'm the captain. So I was doing like a dream episode where I was dreaming and saying that and doing a bunch of stupid stuff like eating chicken wings and burning my face off and just every ignorant thing that I've ever done on the channel. So I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
When are you going to have it up?
I don't have it up right now. I'm still working on it.
Okay. Very cool. Sounds funny. Sounds hilarious.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that one's good. And then I sing a physics song really badly. Like, maybe you should let the old times die or whatever it was. It's a song from a movie. I was singing that to physics, and it sounded absolutely horrifyingly bad, which made it so much funnier. So that's on there too. So nice. Yeah, but just some funny stuff going on, man. Star Trek. So
yeah, but Mike does had a good one. It said Moses says split the hole.
Nice. So funny, man. Yeah, I wanted to, when we were making T-shirts, put Mike on a T-shirt and talk about the 3 holes. But I didn't want to offend him, you know what I mean, anymore.
Yeah.
And, but I still think it's funny. Split the water hole.
Split the water.
Nice. Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah, good times, man.
See if I got anything else here on this graphene. Hold on. Yeah, some pretty good stuff here. They did a lot of math on it. That's why they're taking it quite seriously. So they've worked out all the mathematics, how it's working, and you know, let's say they did all their homework, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Oh yeah, they don't accept anything without the math. Got to have the math with it.
mm-hmm.
Which is ironically funny because it's like a bunch of symbols. It wasn't what it looks like. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like math and like other people think like all these numbers in it. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally symbols of the different things that mean different things. And it's hilarious to look at.
Okay.
But it works.
Can you see my screen okay? I'm gonna play another video here.
Oh yeah, sure.
We first noticed experimentally the graphene was always moving of atoms. So there's surfaces on both sides that are exposed. It's like studying the surface of the ocean. And it really lent itself to the possibility that maybe one could use that as a source of energy. What was thought to be not possible was harvesting energy just from the heat of the earth. So the question was, can this kinetic energy of the graphene be utilized to charge these storage capacitors and then used to power some electronic devices? This breakthrough says that it's possible. And we call that nonlinear thermoelectric power. We think of it as a battery replacement, like inside the hull of an aircraft. You might have metal fatigue sensors throughout the aircraft, but you really can't take it apart and replace all the batteries every 6 months. The goal is to come up with this device to operate these sensors. And since we're kind of the first to find this new source of power, we can study how does it behave in other situations. There's still research to be done on what's the best way to organize these components in a circuit layout to make it easier to get access to this power and to get more power to help us take this basic discovery and turn it into devices, which could ultimately maybe improve society.
Very cool application. I like the idea of like putting.
And look at the circuit. The circuit's very important. So you got two sides. So you have one diode going in this direction, and you have another diode going in this direction. Now, on their study, if you do not build the circuit like this, exactly the way they have it here, this will not work. The circuit has to be built in this configuration on the right.
See, it makes you wonder about different materials. Like, like each material could have, like you said, this material only works with this circuit. It's like, what if other materials work? We just don't know how the circuit works, for them.
Well, yeah, obviously graphene is, you could get it down to 1 nanometer. Mm-hmm. This is where that's why it works.
So hold on. Nanometer. It just looks like it's going into a capacitor.
Right. That's exactly what it's doing, but it's controlled. The direction of flow is controlled by the diodes. So watch how the circuit goes. It has to go in a specific direction, and it'll charge.
Are you sure it even goes through the diodes? Because I'm not seeing a whole lot of diode.
Yeah, the diode's right here, and they have to be a leaky diode. So they'll have to be what I would say probably a Schottky diode. Okay. There are other Zener diodes that can be quite leaky. So what happens is when the fluctuation happens, the top will become positive and the bottom will become negative. And then when it flexes back in the opposite direction, because they're seeing a negative energy flux in it, it switches. Now the bottom becomes positive, then the top becomes negative. That's why you have these diodes, one going in one direction, one going the opposite direction in correlation with the two diodes.
Can you play it real quick again? I just want to see the direction of the little dots.
Yeah. Bear with me here. So does that make any sense?
I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't moved.
Oh, it didn't move?
No, I've been waiting.
Oh, okay. What the heck's going on here? Hold on. Let me stop sharing. Let me.
I just want to make sure the dots are going to the diode because the way that they're bent on there didn't look like it.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was playing. All right. Sure. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Hold on. That's not the one I was playing though. What the heck is going on? Somebody else is logged in here. Oh, Gerald's here. Hey, Gerald.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey,
How's it going?
good. We're trying to watch a video. We're trying to, Mike's trying to get it to play.
Information
Okay.
on the
There it is. I see it. We got it.
Okay. You see it now? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I see it.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
left-hand side, there's freestanding graphene. The freestanding graphene is so thin and flexible, it's always moving. This motion, called Brownian motion, creates a noisy electrical signal. In response, our special circuit with diodes produces a temporary, nonlinear, direct current that charges the storage capacitors. Before the capacitors can discharge and reach thermodynamic equilibrium, we disconnect them from the circuit and use this stored charge to light the bulbs.
Okay. That's pretty simple.
That's pretty basic. It's
Yeah.
not crazy there, but I think this is the best thing that I've seen thus far when it comes to real true 0 point, because you could do this at any temperature and it'll still, that graphene is going to be flexing up and down.
You know what that is, right? The circuit he's got there is an Avimenko plug.
Sorry, say that again.
The circuit that he's got there, it's an Avimenko plug.
Cool.
I'm gonna switch my mic.
Okay.
No, you're-
Now I'm having trouble hearing you. Sorry. Avalenko Judge?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, Avimenko plug. It's like kind of using like one line that comes off of your output and turning it into AC. That's
Oh,
kind of exactly what it's doing.
Right.
nice. Yeah, Mike does was saying the same thing.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Mike does get it right.
Yeah, he said that old man Bill was
Guys.
confused and he's still learning.
We're all still learning, Mike. We're all still learning.
Gotta love it.
The day I stop learning is the day I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I'll be flying over your head soon, eh, Gerald? I'll wave to you when I fly by.
Oh, you got
Oh,
your
yeah,
banner over Gerald's face right now.
You're going to Calgary, are you?
Yeah, Tuesday I'll be there. So
Nice.
Gerald's being
when I-
the little angel on her shoulders right now because Mike's got his face covered.
I'll drop little bombs
Oh, that's
as
all
I'm
good.
going over Manitoba.
Nice. I've been training for a long trip, but I'm not gonna be ready until I think spring. I mean, I can press 800 pounds with my legs, and I biked 21 miles just day before yesterday, but I'm not there yet. To bike to Calgary is going to take me some more training. So I'm going to wait until next spring, and then I'm going to do it.
You're gonna bike from a city to a city?
Yeah, I'm going to bike from Manitoba to Calgary, so it's like 2 provinces over. It's about 1,200 miles, something like that.
1,200
man.
miles. You want to bike? Wow.
Yep. My a buddy of mine, actually 2 friends of mine from high school, went from Manitoba all the way to Hope, British Columbia on mountain bike. So I can't go that far. I ain't touching the mountains. Look, I got some guts, but my balls ain't brass. You know what I mean? They're not that big. Sorry to put it that way, but going over the mountains by mountain bike, man, you have to have some guts, and I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
But the plains is a nice place to take a nice 2-week long journey.
yeah.
Yeah, why don't you cheat and get a battery or something? You know what I mean? Get one of those motorized ones.
Oh no, I have an e-bike and built a trailer that charges the battery while I'm running from the power on the trailer. It's runs through my coil. You'll have to see it. It's part of one of the devices that I'm going to be bringing to market.
And that's the one you're taking?
Yep. So I'm driving that 1,200 miles as proof of concept. I already have 2 bike shops that are interested in them, but I want to do this big long trip to prove that you can run an e-bike 1,200 miles without stopping to charge, because the trailer's going to charge it while I'm riding.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's part of it. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna scoot up for a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
Yeah, can you take down the picture real quick so we can see everybody?
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I was searching something, a new sport called a paraglider. Like
Okay.
it's a little it's not little, but you know, it's like a huge wheel. It has a big old fan. You strap it on,
Oh yeah.
and you take a few courses. But you know, overall, like you could fly from that 1,200 miles on a paraglider, and it's like about you know, it goes from 3,500, you know, all the way to 10,000. But you could get a decent one for like $4,000, and like there are a few schools here that offer that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but you could buy this thing, you know, and you could fly from anywhere to anywhere you want without you know, like you just go over and
Yeah,
instead
and you don't need a pilot license for those
nope,
either.
you do not need a pilot license. All you need is just proof that you know how to fly it, like a small certificate, a class, or something like that, and that's that.
Oh,
And
wow.
try not to run out of gas.
Oh yeah, well, it said that it holds I don't know how many liters, but like almost 400 or 500 miles worth of.
Woo!
Just to,
That'd be a
yeah,
fun
so
trip.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
stop one time, you know, and they go about like what I understood, like 60, 70 miles an hour. So not bad, right? For a thing that just yeah, no freeways, no roads, nobody to stop you if you're going too fast, too small. Like I
We
don't know.
we want video, Lulu. We
Well,
want video.
it's just I'm exploring the idea. So, you know, I'm exploring it. I have little kids, so I have to really think about the whole idea. Do I really want to risk that, you know,
Oh,
my
yeah.
life?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm exploring it still.
Shout out in the chat to Over Unity Research channel. Sorry to cut you off, Lulu.
Yeah, it's cool.
He has a circuit everybody should be looking at.
Okay.
It's amazing, I gotta say. I'd applaud you, but my camera's not working. I'm now using that circuit. I was working on it before you put it out, but I didn't get it finished. And then you built it. Talk about 100 monkey experiment. I love it. It was freaking beautiful. And I'm not even going to do a video about it. I want to promote Over Unity Research channel because the way he explained it was perfect. If I'm getting the right guy out there, it has to do with 3 batteries.
Let me take a look.
Positive. Mike knows exactly what I'm talking about. Good circuit.
And it's on a regular video and 3 batteries.
Yeah, it's called Splitting the Positive. That guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So big shout out to him.
Right on. Yeah, I think I'm on his channel. Has he got kind of longer hair, a little bit of beard underneath?
Most of his videos, all you see is his hands.
Oh. Okay. He worked on the Bedini motor, the Pulse?
Yeah, it's a pulse motor, but it's more the circuit itself that has to do with batteries.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to
Pulse motor
identify
in it.
who he is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just trying to identify him, Gerald. I see the circuit, I think.
Yeah, Brandon's his name.
Brandon, okay.
Yeah, Brandon, I was trying to get my circuit run on automatic, and I was using SSRs, and I'm telling you, I couldn't get it done with that. With switches, I did. So I'm really interested in your next circuit that comes out. So all the power to you, my friend.
Nice. I just subbed to a channel, man, so I check it out.
Yeah, he's good. You should have him on your channel. Talk to him about it.
Nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You could do that. Yeah, I'll have to see what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a Tesla switch is basically what it is, right?
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, because Tesla came up with using batteries, but he used the potential differences between the batteries to run his systems while he was charging the lower potential batteries with the higher potential. So it makes for an awesome run on your system, whatever you're doing.
Right on. Yeah, that sounds interesting, man, because I was playing with that pulse motor like Mike was doing. Oh my God, dude. Those magnets are driving me nuts for days, Gerald.
I hate magnets and I love magnets.
Turning them one way or the other, like, all day. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a little kid. This thing's just barely moving around. Oh, I felt so pathetic.
Have you played with those 2-inch magnets yet, my friend? Because those are insane. I broke a pinky on them, man. Pulled them out of the box and they have these separators, right? So
Yeah.
I pulled off the magnet away from the separator and I wasn't watching and it snapped closed between my pinky, broke the pinky. But hey, you know what? In the name of science, right?
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
Right? Gotta watch out for those magnets.
I've got some stuck to my desk right now, like, because it's a metal desk, right?
Yeah.
So I have a bad habit of sticking them to the side of my toolbox or to the back side of my desk. And then every once in a while, some parts of my electronics, like the cord here, will get stuck to it because of the metal in it. So everything's pulling on me. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I forget I have big magnets under my table.
Feels like somebody grabbing you.
Yeah, it does. That could
So
come
Joe's
up from
in
the
the
grave
chat.
to get me.
So Joe's in the chat. I'm gonna, clear the air here. I do apologize for calling you a fake, Joe. You're not a fake. You just stepped on a nerve. Like everybody knows, I'm set in my ways when it comes to Jesus Christ. You brought him up, not me. And I apologize for going overboard. So that being said, I'd much rather apologize to you on Zoom Live when we're together doing, a debate or something. And I don't care if it gets heated. It's not about that. I like it getting heated because then we're smashing out the truth. But at the same time, I shouldn't get carried away. So that being said, we'll get back to the science.
Right on, man. Right on. That's cool. Yeah, dude. The funnest parts of these things, man, is when you argue a little bit, but then at the end, you kind of it's like arguing around a bonfire and then having a beer.
Yeah,
and you forget all about it 2 seconds later.
Exactly. I can agree to disagree with you. Heck, I can agree to disagree with myself sometimes. You know what I mean?
Girls drinking both beers. Yeah. This is good. No, this one.
That's life. That's how we learn the truth. Sometimes it's a little messy, but who gives a shit in the end? We all find out the way it really works, and we have no hate, Oh, but I didn't want to talk to you, Joe.
Speak of the devil, and he shall arrive.
Oh, don't suck this that.
I literally came on to say, you know what, I think it needs to be said, Gerald. I respect your work tremendously, and always have. And my analysis of the stuff that I do is honest and from a good place. And I always take things with a grain of salt. And you know what? I just want to be respected for the fact that I have nothing to gain out of this. And I just do it for the fun of it and the love of it. So, you got to respect that. And we could disagree. And, I've disagreed with you a bunch of times, but it's all peace and love, man. I always say that.
Yeah, I got no hate, man. I can agree to disagree with you 100% on that. No worries.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And
that's all good.
You're busting your brain trying to get it all done. We all are. So, hey, no worries, right?
Fascinating stuff all around. It's all happening. I don't agree with
some of your conclusions, just like you said, you don't agree with some of mine, and that's all good. That's what makes us. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. You know what I mean, Joe?
Oh, I agree.
I like arguing with people to some degree because that's how I get what I'm trying to say out. They get what they're trying to say out. The audience decides what's truth. And you and I figure out what's truth between us. So
it's the truth generally tends to lie somewhere in between, and probably on both sides too. And that's been my experience with it, But it is what it is, and it's part of the process. And just wanted to make sure I said no hard feelings. Never was, but like I got teeth too. You know, it's,
We all
you got the lion and I got teeth too. It's just how it goes.
We all
That
do,
comes
yeah.
with the passion.
It's all good. It's all good.
Right on.
Like I said, the truth gets dirty sometimes.
Yeah.
Truth is uglier than the fucking lies that are out there, man. Sorry for swearing. Mike's audience is gonna leave.
I'm actively watching the lies right now, right in front of me. So I won't say who. They share a slot.
Yeah.
I have a bad joke because of what you said, but I'll be respectful towards women. And
Yep.
I'm a very bad guy. I'm sorry. I apologize. Bad joke. Bad joke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This guy in the chat says get away for AI to tell the truth. You're waiting forever, buddy.
AI is a
Yeah,
joke. I
I'm
apologize.
gonna have more
to
gray
everyone
hair
who
before
uses
that
it, but
happens.
Yeah, I got some too.
if you use AI, you're giving them your work. And when they flip the switch, if you try and do any kind of research or work that's serious into what you're doing now, they'll take it from you and lock you up.
That's absolutely true.
All AI is a proprietary freaking basket. They're just trying to snag all the information they can from you. What do you think Elon Musk is? That guy's such a... All he wanted was to literally, when he put X together and he claimed like he was this hero of truth, right? All he was doing was getting everybody's conversations to apply to his algorithm for the brain interface system that he's trying to put together for his AI. So everything everybody says on X is proprietary to his AI system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, you know.
So check this
I
out.
think we've all been fooled in that way. I don't use AI. I've never have. Other than, of course, Google, because it runs behind the scenes. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, no problem. So, like, couple things, right? Now, first of all, if you use AI and you're only trying to draw correlation, you give no context, that's a useful tool at that point because it will draw correlation under specific parameters without telling it what the hell you're thinking or what you're doing or how you're using it. So that's one way. Yeah, that's one way to actually exploit it without giving away the goods. And that's actually something I do from time to time in order to find out complex sequencing, and relationships. But aside from that, and it's actually a little disconnected, but about what we're all doing and stuff. I actually had a little story about this guy that I know. He's an investor, and I was talking to him the other day. We went out for a cup of coffee, whatever, and just shot the wind. And he was kind of telling me that he has this huge opportunity to get involved in a lithium boron mine that has not broken ground yet, and that the investment is super low, but the measured potential of the mineral extraction, is like pretty high. And I had to kind of tell him, I said, you got to read the tea leaves, man. There's a reason. And I brought in all the cafe standards in the United States that just actually passed and got turned over, and all the e-vehicle incentives that were all done away with. And the idea here was that, the electric vehicles are actually what's consuming the majority of lithium at this point. And there's almost no incentive to buy one anymore. And even if it didn't change, they were still moving to a solid state ceramic form battery at that point, as mean protocol. So like that was going to be a bust regardless, because by the time they would have blown through the other lithium deposits in order to start a new one, it had been a thing of the past. So I don't know what he ended up doing with it, but I kind of just felt the need to be like, hey, before you spend money, man, read the tea leaves. If you think you're going to retire off this, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the new zinc air battery?
Yeah, there's zinc air battery, and the newest battery that Cat L in China's been working on is the sodium battery. It's about 25% cheaper than the lithium. The energy density is a little bit lower, but it's the cost. and the technology, they're actually making the batteries now. And apparently, they say those batteries can get about 3 million miles in its lifespan.
So that's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure that the sodium batteries, their charge cycles, per their life cycle is like
Yeah, it's a
exponentially
lot.
higher than that of lithium, which lithium
Yeah.
kind of sucks in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even better than lithium iron phosphate as well. So
Has anyone here heard about the aluminum car, or I should say the aluminum engine that ran on wedges of aluminum? They called it
Yes.
the aluminum battery.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
talking about, right?
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
So
about.
I have to wonder if, with all these new battery techs coming out, because that was literally shelved, is that going to be the next ultimate battery tech ever? Because all it did was you took this wedge of aluminum and you would stick it in your motor, and it would run as long as that wedge was there, and it would break apart. I don't know what you would call it. It would get used up, and you would just pick up another wedge, put it in, and keep going.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
so much aluminum everywhere.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was designed in the 70s. And John Serjanka was the guy who shelved it.
Yeah, that's right. Because Bettini was the one that was discussing it. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm unfamiliar with that. I mean, what's the process of the aluminum wedge at that point?
Well,
Is it
the aluminum in the wedge form was very similar to the magnesium ion battery.
okay?
Yeah, I have to wonder if it was like something between a spark gap of some sort or something. I don't know.
It could
You
have
got me on that one. No idea how it ran. Just heard about it, right?
Yeah, because when you're talking about the breakdown of the aluminum over time, obviously that
Oxidation.
implies, it implies an oxidative event. So I wasn't sure if there was combustion involved in it or if it was just an electric event. Okay.
No, it's
That's
an
what I was
electric
wondering.
event.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's similar to magnesium. It doesn't have as much charged particles as magnesium, so its lifespan is actually longer. So the energy density is not as high as magnesium. So, but the thing is, it's the cost. Where magnesium is like exponentially a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
that's why they went with
true.
the aluminum.
I mean, think
So-
about it. Like, if it comes into production, it's like, yeah, I'm going in to buy a 6-pack of aluminum wedges.
Yeah,
Like,
six-pack.
you think about
Driving
it.
across America, you need a 6-pack of aluminum.
Yeah, like-
So I mean, the thing is though that you run into the same exact issue with aluminum that you run into with magnesium, which is like the instant oxide of the surface. So you end up having to you're changing your wedge, but it's more complex than that. That's something we've discussed again. Something Mike dabbles in, so I'm not going to bring it up. And
No, I agree with you, but there's so much aluminum in the world. Who cares, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like using water kind of thing.
Well, at that point, you just have a recycle facility. You're not doing it yourself because people don't want to do shit themselves.
Exactly.
It's a drop-off exchange. Of the just get the core swapped
It's a
out.
consumable. It'd be classified like a consumable.
Well, all those pop cans would eventually turn into fuel for your car.
Yep. And aluminum is, I believe, the second most abundant metal on the planet. So
you can see why they don't want that battery out.
It's like I'm like imagining like products like those like little coffee discs, like something like that. Like you pop it in, the old one
Like
just comes
Keurig.
out. You
Yeah,
press
like a
another one
Keurig,
in, and
yeah.
it just like something like that. Or,
That's
Maybe
cool.
put my Keurig in my car.
yeah, like pop in that.
Nice.
Like,
Back to the Future all over again.
Yeah, just like
Get
get
a
back
banana
to
peel and sucking some beer down.
that's a very cool concept. I mean, I think aluminum is like you said, it's a readily available material, and it has future. Because it's not something that. I mean, we have 8 billion people on planet Earth, so
Well,
think about
talking about recycling, though, I mean, I've been a big proponent of this idea for a long time that rather than using like asphalt and such to like pave the roads, you should be using like HDPE that's like just mixed up with different aggregates and stuff to give it different grip properties for your rubber tires. And then you could just literally run a single machine over it that stands to chip it up, melt it, resurface it, and it wouldn't be prone to the expansion and contraction that leads to the cracks and potholes. And it's so prevalent and easy to both chip up and reform. And once it reforms at its melting temperature, it actually creates a solid mass. So it's just much easier, cheaper, and more prevalent than asphalt. And then you don't have to worry about half of the issues that you have during the freezing thawing months, and at least in the north, right?
I say we piss them all off. All the battery components, of course, except for yours, Mike, because that's going to come in handy in other ways. And we release a circuit that makes an alternator from a car run on its own. Just have to wrap a string around the pulley belt, pull it, and it starts on its own, and it's already charging your battery as you run a load from it.
Yeah, the Lockridge. It'd be exactly like the Lockridge device.
Exactly, except it puts up more than 400 watts.
That's awesome. It's exactly kind of how I imagine the universe to work, as far as multidimensionality is concerned, like multiple pulleys that pulls one on the next, and depending on what the gear ratio is the amount of turn you get.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I vision.
It's not a complete
rejoined at the right time.
Hey, Bernie,
Yeah.
it's not a complete free lunch.
Bernie.
You still have to have power go into the system to run through it to make the system run itself, but it doesn't need a car to spin it up.
Mm.
And it's just literally a circuit with a bipolar coil. It'll blow your mind. Of course, it has to be inside the stator itself, but regardless of that, it's anybody can do it. Anybody. You guys are all going to have to work on it.
So we all have to do it,
give you the circuit, and I'm going to give you the winding configuration, and then you guys can all build it and prove me wrong or prove me right.
No, I want to prove you right, Gerald. Give me the designs.
I'd much rather you try and prove me wrong. I like that.
I will try.
Because then if I'm right, I'm really right, and if I'm wrong, well then hey, I got to go back to drawing board.
Okay, I'm gonna say the hard part. Even when you're right, sometimes that doesn't mean that that's the only right for the same exact question, and that's what's hard. Questions are so hard. Answers are easy these days. We have so much resource and access to information, data, the ability to measure and to reason. But realistically, being able to see things and what's not there, and then be able to tap in, that's where it gets crazy. So prove it right, prove it wrong. It almost becomes like a non-issue, because sometimes you could prove it wrong in one regard, but switch the lens ever so slightly, and there it is somewhere else in a different mechanism following the same exact.
Come on, Joe.
Sorry, Bernie's doing
Bernie's being stripped.
We gotta give him some music here. Whoa!
What's next? Swinging sausage? I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Swinging
Jesus Christ. All right, listen, folks. It's been real. I wanted to pop in, say hello, and give my nod over to General.
Is that turning you on, Joe?
No, listen. No. You know what's turning me on is this mac and cheese that I made. And that I'm about to shove in my face.
Right? You don't want people to see that, man. You want to enjoy that.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, folks.
You go
happy Friday.
Mac and cheese,
Right
baby.
on, Joe.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh man,
That
you
was
just need the music there, Bernie.
I'm dancing to music in the background. Yeah. I love all y'all.
God, and
So
I thought this was going to be a mellow show.
Oh,
No.
Bernie misses a flight or two in a day. I'm hyped. Woo! Yay! At the airport. So, yay!
Even that, your dude, you out there stripping at the airport? Seriously?
Gotta try to pick up something. Shit.
Where else are you gonna strip?
I guess.
That's not on camera. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Generally, I'd be in the restroom, dude, and changing clothes, not like in the middle of the hallway.
Hey, that's how I go for it. I'm just out in the open with everything. There's no hiding nothing.
Yeah.
Exhibitionist.
So I get to spend an
Oh,
extra day in Albuquerque, and the person I'm staying with works at Sandia Labs, and we've been discussing all the different methods and processes that I need to do to be able to verify and find out what each individual metamaterial is that I'm producing. It's pretty awesome, and they actually have the equipment to do it.
nice.
Yeah, Sandia Labs, I'm pretty sure they have a pretty big budget.
And the technology to deal with DT.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. How long you been in the U.S. now? 2 weeks?
3 weeks. 3 weeks in Albuquerque.
You're having 2
One
weeks.
day in LA.
Yeah, no LA today. Shit. Looking forward to spending the night hanging out with Julia and driving the strip of LA. My God, but not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe not.
You
Maybe
didn't miss
next
much
time.
out there.
You know,
You
maybe
didn't
I'll
miss much
catch
on the
a flight
trip.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Better off going to the ocean, man. Hanging out. You know what I mean? Go to the pier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Santa
you should
Monica.
ride on Santa Monica Boulevard
Yeah.
and play the song at the same time. I've done that. It's cool.
Santa Monica Pier is awesome. I love it there. That was my favorite spot in LA.
Yeah,
You're gonna go from
closer to there. I don't know.
you're gonna turn on 2 ghetto streets and then finally come up to a clean one, and then go
Yeah.
back to 2 ghetto streets. You're gonna wish you were on the clean one all the
Just
time.
go. Just.
Oh my
just go-
God! You want to talk about ghetto streets? Albuquerque Central. Wow! Last night, I don't know. I posted a couple
you
little
trying to get
videos,
shot?
but I didn't. What happened after I ran out of recording space was like hilarious. There was one store open, and it's like it was baller, but it was like ghetto as F in the ghetto as F. And like there's like
You
a
trying to
good
get
like
shot?
40 like heads just like twitching out outside. And then what was really crazy was there was like this 50 Cent looking dude, but like 5X on steroids. And like just like you could tell he was the alpha of the hood. And there's like 20 of his homies around him. And then there's like some hot hoe. And then he's like off camera, like holding her arm, and she's like trying to get into the store where it's like on camera and locked. And he's just like, "You stole my drugs!" And like,
Oh God.
I walked straight through them into the door, and they're all just looking at me like I'm the craziest motherfucker around. It's like, yeah, that's what's up. That's how I roll.
That's terrible.
You're trying to get friggin' like Jack down there and
Oh,
shot at.
I roll around. I mean, will defend myself if needed, but you just gotta put out that alpha mentality, and they all just scurry.
Yeah, just no fear. That's what it's about, man. No fear. You don't have to stand tall, but you got to stand.
Exactly. And it was just quite. I almost want to go get the security camera footage because it was that good. Like it. Oh man. Anyways, I'm having the time of my life. It's all good.
It looks like you don't want to go back to Canada.
On Tuesday, at the very least, I'll have caught a flight back to Calgary by Tuesday. So I'll get to hang out with Mike in person.
Yeah, that's if you don't miss your flight.
Hey, it's only Friday night, so I think I'll be good. I think I should.
Well, you might as well make plans with Julia, dude. You might be in LA for another 2 days after you get there if you keep missing flights.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I told her to keep her posted. I gotta freaking man. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go deal with this. Love y'all. Talk to you.
Run, Forrest!
Run, Forrest, run.
The bags are out. There's an attendance.
Later, Bernie.
Oh, it's so funny.
He's in and out, in and out, in and out.
I think he had too much fun.
Hey guys,
Michael's back.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
only briefly. Have you guys seen Bernie tonight? Or
He
Just
Yeah,
fine.
he's just here.
You just missed him.
dang! Oh, that's how it always is sometimes, you know.
He's
Anyway.
in he's on his way to LA right now.
He's just
All right.
out running to catch his flight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, dang. That's what I was planning to talk to. Yeah, he had some interesting results with some metal hydrides that I wanted to investigate.
Yeah,
Nice.
you should. Well, I'm gonna be actually heading out his way in Calgary on Tuesday. I'll be there, so Bernie should be back by Tuesday. So I hope that's if he doesn't miss another flight. But
Hopefully. No. All right. Well, I'll have a chance to talk to him soon anyway.
you got it. You got his email, right?
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're
Doing
pretty
great.
good. Yep.
All right.
It's
Good.
been a pretty busy night.
Nice.
Lot of things going on.
Same here. Same here. I was just learning a little bit. I was just researching the coulombic efficiency of the deposition of magnesium and bismuth in urea choline chloride solutions, because I'm trying to make the magnesium bismuth composite. Well, we're making a fake arts parts, and we're going to see if it. Well, I don't know if you guys heard, but when Matsudagas tested the arts parts, he put it on a piece of plutonium, which was a neutron source,
right,
intended to irradiate the sample. And basically, it's a neutron activation study. You can tell what elements are in the sample by how it gets activated by the neutrons.
Apparently, the magnesium bismuth combination. I'm actually thinking about doing an electroplating version of that, and apparently the K value of bismuth is very high. So when you,
I mean, K value. What do you mean K value?
Yeah, the resistance value.
Huh.
The resistance value in the bismuth. So when you anodize the two together, and you put it in between two piezoelectric transducers, and you hit it with high voltage, that resistance that's in the bismuth supposedly affects gravity or creates a gravity wave when it's hit.
There's been a ton of speculation about bismuth over the years, and I'm sure it has some effect just because it has such a high spin. In fact, it's probably got the highest spin of any stable thing except for tantalum 180-M. Which is also technically observationally stable, but it's not known whether that's stable or not. But in any case, what I was saying is the magnesium bismuth composite, when they tried irradiating it with neutrons, it completely resisted. It didn't become radioactive at all.
Right, it deflected.
So they tested then Matt tested something that shouldn't get neutron activated, which was like lithium. Basically, he put lithium on there that's known to be difficult to neutron activate, and so he put the lithium on there and it was activated, but the magnesium bismuth composite was not activated. If you put magnesium on there or if you put bismuth on there, it gets activated by radiation. But for some reason, the arts parts was not. Now we want to see if there's there's a whole body of theory about nuclear vibrations. In fact, it's kind of related to the hafnium controversy. I don't know if you're familiar with the hafnium controversy. I'm a little bit deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
But basically, it was claimed that hafnium 179-M, which is a metastable nuclear isomer, not an isotope, but a nuclear isomer. It's basically an isotope that's absorbed a gamma ray, and because of the high spin ratio, it's stabilized by that gamma ray instead of destabilized by the gamma ray. So tantalum 180-M and hafnium 179-M are nuclear isomers. And so they're actually an excited nuclear state. And so in principle, you can get them to emit that gamma ray again. And so the whole hafnium controversy was like, oh, maybe you could make a gamma ray laser, Well, you don't need to make a gamma ray laser because you can use coherent phonons at the appropriate frequency to stimulate the Mossbauer effect, and then you can get coherent gammas from the coherent phonons without mirrors. And so it's a dangerous thing. Anyway, I don't even know why I was talking about that. I shouldn't have talked about that, probably. But
yeah, so you might want to try doing electroplating of bismuth onto a magnesium plate.
Right. So that's the plan. That is the plan. But we think that there's so if you have the Mossbauer effect, which couples to phonons in the terahertz frequencies, then in principle you can it seems like they're somehow nullifying the radiation, the neutron cross sections using nuclear vibrations. So Ning Li was also very much into nuclear vibrations. So that's one thing that's not commonly known about her research is she was doing all the Podkletnov stuff, but she was also talking about the nuclear vibrations. Oh, hey, there's Bernie.
There's Perone. I love Perone.
Hey, Bernie.
Oh,
So yeah,
I'm the smartest retard out there, right? Because I'm smart, but then I can't make a flight for the life of me. Even though I miss a flight, and then I'm at the airport 6 hours early for my next flight, and then still just can't make it.
You missed another flight.
Yeah, I was in the bar and they lied to me, and they're like, "Yeah, it's only 3:45. It's not 5:45." And it was 5:45, and then I went out for a smoke, and then I went back in, and I missed my flight. And
dang,
oh God, that's
Start
fun,
flapping. His arms are going to be sore.
right? I meant to stay in America because I love America now. Canada's too communist.
Well,
yeah,
anyway.
you're not wrong there.
Yeah, I won't get into all that, but yeah, it seems like the magnesium bismuth layers somehow modulate the phonons in the material. And when you modulate those phonons in the right way, it seems you can actually change the neutron cross sections of the atoms so that the magnesium bismuth composite does not get neutron. At the very least, we should see the bismuth turning into lead, thallium, and what's the other one that bismuth turns into? Polonium. You would see bismuth when it gets irradiated with neutrons, it should turn into all this stuff. But for some reason, the arts parts just doesn't do that.
Yeah,
and the neutron activation study was sensitive down to parts per billion. So,
I have some
it's
or
nice.
So I need to get Aiden on this call. So give me 15 minutes. And
no, I won't have time tonight. I just wanted to drop that.
Next time.
Basically, arts parts might actually be alien because, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone.
You froze, Michael.
Right when you get to the good part, it might be alien. Cuts them out.
Yeah, I got some. I have some bismuth right here. Hold on, let me take off my.
Well, magnesium's an interesting one too because it's a heavier density. It actually starts producing some radioactive decay when I've experienced working with it in electrolysis.
Nice.
There it is. There.
No, I'm back.
Yeah.
I have a dumb question then. If
That looks so pretty.
As soon as I said nuclear, it stopped. Okay.
No, actually, when you said alien, it stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
It was on the alien part it cut out.
Interesting. Okay, so I mean, arts parts might actually be alien because I'm not sure that humans can engineer something that changes nuclear interaction.
I gotta go, guys. Love y'all.
Actively.
Didn't you have aluminum and what was the other one that was in cobalt in arc parts as well?
Cobalt? I don't know what the trace elements were off the top of my head. It was just very, very strange that none of the bismuth was irradiated, and the bismuth should become radioactive under intense neutron bombardment, but it did not.
So,
well, they're making
I misunderstood
magnesium too.
What you were saying earlier is under neutron bombardment, it creates phonons.
Well, no, I mean, so it's known that there's this Mossbauer effect. So there's a gamma ray coupling to phonons in the lattice, which is well understood. But what I'm suggesting is that in general, the nuclear cross sections are related to nuclear vibrations, and those
Which
nuclear
creates
vibrations
sound.
can be stimulated in the terahertz frequencies. Because if you think about it, the nucleus is a million times denser than the electronic states, and the nucleus is only 1,000 times smaller. So, and it's also only 1,000 times stiffer. So, the resonant frequencies that the nuclei can hit, interestingly, are similar to the resonant frequencies that the electronic lattice can hit.
That's interesting. I made a song with my coil earlier today. So I kind of wonder if, well, again, correlation doesn't mean causation. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh
Just
yeah,
a thought.
no, it's definitely there's an interaction here because the electronic lattice is a million times less stiff, and the crystal structure, the crystal lattice is roughly like the individual electronic bonds are roughly 1,000 times larger than the nucleus. So the resonances that are possible between those are going to be similar, just because like the size scale is smaller, but the speed is way smaller. The
That's
vibration of the
interesting.
nucleus.
Is the bismuth in the center?
Huh?
Is the bismuth in the center of
Of what?
everything? All the
No,
parts?
I'm just
Like a
saying.
section, right?
Like you have a nucleus.
No, I know what
and
you're saying. I'm just asking the configuration of
it's
which parts
small.
sit on top of each other.
The nucleus is small, but the phonons that travel across the nucleus, because the nucleus is made up of other particles, the phonons that travel through the nucleus travel way slower than they do through normal matter, because the density to stiffness ratio sets your phonon wave speed. And since
Creating
the
almost like a
size scale is
drag.
so small, then the effects roughly cancel, and you get similar phonons on the nucleus that you can get in the electronic lattice.
Okay, so that makes sense to one of the experiments I did. I took 5 smoke detectors apart, and I took my Geiger counter, and I was picking up a signal, and I put all the pieces in the center of my large coil, turned it on, and the signal disappeared.
Well,
Sorry?
I'm talking mainly about terahertz, but I'm sure other things could stimulate those. I mean, I guess you know what? I had heard that barium had nuclear resonances down to 400 hertz. So maybe there are some in the audible range. I don't know.
Interesting.
But that's just something I had heard. I don't know. Like 400 hertz would be extremely low compared to terahertz. That's like completely different. So I don't know if
Well,
that's
what I put into the
possible.
coil isn't what the coil produces. When I stick it on the oscilloscope, I'm seeing 1 terahertz and a half. I'd love to read.
You can't get terahertz on it. You can't register terahertz on an oscilloscope, man.
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's 1 million hertz. That's not a terahertz, is it?
You'd need an infrared camera.
I have an infrared camera.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're making terahertz, that's how you'd see it, not on an oscilloscope.
Okay, maybe I'm misreading my oscilloscope then.
Also, usually infrared cameras are mid-IR, not far IR, so it's a tricky thing with terahertz. But anyway, I got to get going for the night. But
Real quick.
just, something to think about. You can mess with the nuclear vibrations and change the interaction cross sections for various.
Hold on, let me just say this, because the material matters around it. And I'm not talking about the nuclear or anything, just the material itself. Because you're turning on a transistor from the last time Jared put it out on when he was talking about it in the arch parts. The exact formula for building a transistor was right there. The frequency will change based on what you're putting into it. For instance, a piezo buzzer doesn't go to 1 megahertz, but when you put in the different frequencies, it can go to 20 right away. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. It'll hit something in there like you're talking about to accelerate the frequency. So it matters which which element you're putting around it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why I was asking which ones in particular were all around it.
Oh yeah. It's I mean, it's layers of bismuth and magnesium and a little bit of zinc.
There's no aluminum in it?
Not in those ones, no. Why aluminum?
Oh, it just has a funny way of amplifying things.
Interesting.
Where you put certain energies into it. You put like a we always talk about negative energy, and it's like the longitudinal wave. When you put that into things, it doesn't build out with necessarily the RF that you would get. It's almost non-existent. So it changes the energy that goes into there and has a different reaction to it.
Well, we were thinking about making aluminum bismide for the Alzaphon experiment a while ago. That might be interesting. It's technically a direct bandgap semiconductor, so it'd have very interesting properties if we can manufacture it. We were really going for an aluminum antimony bismide just to stabilize it, because it's not normally stable as a crystal.
Do you have an oxidation layer in there? It's like a separation layer.
No, it doesn't oxidize much. I mean, not more than like it's similar to silicon, I would say, in its oxidation rate. It doesn't oxidize very fast. Mostly because the aluminum oxide passivates the surface. But it's very thin, but very thin oxide layer. But yeah, aluminum bismide was very interesting. And bismuth, when mixed with the lanthanides, forms a lot of interesting refractory, like melts over 2000 Celsius ceramics, actually, with unusual properties. Not well explored yet. A lot of them oxidize kind of easily compared to the aluminum bismide.
Well, they use oxidation in a layer in a transistor. You know what I mean? They make sure it oxidizes in order to use it as a layer of protection, like a diode. You know what I mean? That's why I asked if it did that, because you're kind of like a press layers, right, of something, and then when you decompress everything, what's the actual build out? Because it'll change
we're not compressing layers together anymore for making the laminates. We're electroplating them.
Okay.
Yeah, we're electroplating. It's actually quite an easy process. You just start the magnesium electroplating, and then every once in a while, at even intervals, you just dump in some zinc and bismuth chloride. It's a
And that layers?
Huh?
And that layers like that?
Well, because the zinc and the bismuth will plate out before the magnesium does. So it stops plating magnesium and starts plating zinc and bismuth.
Interesting.
Now, bismuth runs real fast, doesn't it, with electricity through it?
I don't know about that, but I do know that the bismuth plates out really quick, and then the zinc plates out slower, gradually, and that's what gives you, I think, the variability in the zinc concentration in the arts parts. Is an electroplating process. And hopefully we can get this thing to ignore neutrons entirely, because the zinc, the magnesium, and the bismuth, and all the trace elements that were in those, in the arts parts, like there was a lot that should have been neutron activated that just was not at all neutron activated for some reason. So we want to get to the bottom of that.
It probably has to do with the configuration that we're in for a long time.
And the thing is also, if we make this thing and it does not, if it does not successfully stop the neutrons from activating it, if it does get activated, then we will know that the arts parts, it's got to be something real exotic. Or actually, no, I guess there's still a chance it could be from a nuclear bomb casing. Because
is that the whole purpose behind testing, is to find whether or not it's alien, or just to find the composition of it?
Well, it's just it doesn't neutron activate at all, so that's like not human technology as far as I know. Like,
yeah, that's not normal.
You can't just stop. That's not normal. It's very much not normal. So like, I guess like there is a prosaic explanation possible, maybe, that like if it were a nuclear bomb casing, then the neutron flux during the explosion would have been plenty to to just like remove everything that would have been neutron activatable. But then if you have lead and all the decay chains end in stuff that would get neutron activated again under sufficient neutrons. So it's weird. I don't know if I trust that explanation fully. But yeah, I mean, I don't see a way. Like maybe it could be that if it got hit with enough neutron flux at some point in the past, there's nothing left in there to get neutron activated. But
you would think it would come back after time, though, wouldn't it?
yeah, well, I mean, so like the decay products should get neutron activated though, so I don't think that argument works well. But it's interesting, yeah. I mean, if it really does avoid the neutrons somehow, then it's beyond human technology. I can't even begin to like theorize
Explain
how.
that. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, have a good night, folks.
Right on, brother. Have a good night. I got to read up on that arts parts, man. See what they're dealing with, because the last one I read, they wouldn't have those elements in there. Some of them.
Well, I won't bullshit anyone. I don't know enough to even know that I don't know enough when it comes to chemistry. I'm as dumb as a redneck with a catch in the front yard.
Well, Jared was reading them off last time I was watching APEC, and he was saying what was in it, and maybe it was the different parts of the parts. So,
like the mix.
That was it.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if it was brought under some sort of, I don't even know, process that we're not aware of.
Well, some of the stuff that he was reading off when I was watching back then was no different than a transistor. You know what I mean?
Close, but how it's layered and how it's put together is.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking how things are put together.
Yeah,
because it tells you the story. You know what I mean? I
It's
agree.
like, what's the binding agent between them? You know?
Yeah.
That's why I asked about the oxidation, because once you get an oxidation layer, things can't spark over between them. So that's why they use them in transistors. They put an oxidation layer in there. That's just interesting.
Michael has like his own lab, I think, that he can.
Oh yeah,
do.
they're in a big facility.
Yeah, so
he doesn't work at NASA, right? He just works with NASA once in a while.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask him again.
I have no idea. I just know I've seen his lab on some of the podcasts. You know, on APAC and Jeremy Riss's channel and the other guys. So yeah, I know he's got a very decent lab, but I just don't know where or who he works for or any of that stuff. But yeah.
I asked once.
I think if we all got bismuth, man, everybody on all of our channels would love it, because everybody talks about it. So it'd be interesting just to find out when it converts to lead, when it doesn't. You know what I mean? What the reactions are between them. I have a feeling it's going to go super fast, and you're going to be able to use it like the copper in a transistor, and you're going to make that thing go super fast, so we can get super computing out of it.
That's cool.
Well, if you can build a skin out of bismuth for a ship there, Nathan, you and I could go for a nice long ride.
All they are is little NPN transistors. That's all your little microchips are.
No, too bad. But for a skin on a ship, I'm not sure what you would use.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I would use. It's like, remember when they put out the first radio or the first thing on Telegram or Telegraph or whatever it was, and they were trying to get amplified. Oh, no, it was Bell. They were trying to amplify the signal over the seas, so they put in a transistor as an amplifier. We see them in systems amplifiers sometimes, but you got to remember, if you deal with saturation in this, then you can pull the energy from the atmosphere on the upper planet, and then you can pull that right in and use it as usable electricity through the skin without any electronic parts, because it is the electronic part.
So you figure the skin should be like a transistor more than an actual covering.
Yeah, it'd be more like a transistor. It would pull it in and let you use the energy and use it as amplification.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah, well, because you're in that type of energy, you're in the same energy as the Earth produces. So it may have some strange effects when it comes to bismuth and stuff like that. That's why I told them to use the longitudinal wave in the system.
That's interesting. I never thought of that.
I would
Transistor is a skin.
but I would say a transducer, like a piezo transducer. If you were
Yeah,
to
but they're
make
both
that,
pretty close.
yeah,
Well,
it creates a
they
frequency.
amplify the negative energy. Absolutely.
So maybe the whole skin of the craft is a transducer itself.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the shielding.
Well, the entire craft itself
Okay.
would be made like a piezo transducer, a whole like the whole craft. And
So
then-
you want it to absorb energy and use it
well,
as.
no, it will modulate it because the transducer, when you hit it with high voltage, it doubles the amount of potential coming out.
Yeah, but
For-
force against it also puts energy into it. So if
Sure.
you move,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, that may cause a problem if you're going super fast.
So either way, to make
Or
it a
fry your ship.
transducer or a transistor, it has to be done by building up layers. Either way, correct?
Yeah. And from
Almost like
what
a
I've
paint
seen,
job.
yeah, like the way I've seen the art's parts, I was able to see a close up of it. It was in multi layers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one we were talking about. He was talking about a different part of it, I think is what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, the one that I seen, it looked like it was multi layers. And when they did the spectrometer test on it and the electron microscope, they said, we can't fabricate this. We don't have the methods of doing what we're looking at. That's why they're saying, yeah, this material is, like pretty damn exotic and high tech. Because,
Well,
to fabricate it, like they send it to a special laboratory where they do metallurgy and applications for fabrication. And they're looking at this thing going like, what the frig are we looking at here? Like the way this thing is constructed, we don't have the technology to replicate this. So, when they seen that and they're, and these guys know what's involved to create something like that, they're just going, this is way beyond what we have. Way beyond.
Yeah,
Well, I
sometimes
need-
I wonder.
go ahead.
Well, no, they have DoD information that's taken out, and then transistor companies only get to
Yeah.
use the what stuff that they have. So as soon as it gets to the experiment level, DoD takes it.
Yeah.
So they may have it.
They may have it. That's totally possible. I 100% agree with you on that. But that's part of the trickle of this technology. They're trickling it down to the mainstream so slowly, like,
Not if we can help it.
well, yeah, that's where we
I
come
need
in.
somebody in this crew to build a skin. I need a skin for a ship.
Like they're saying, the original UFO that crashed in Roswell, that was our first exposure to fiber optics. So there,
Yeah.
a lot of people are saying today that fiber optics came from that craft, and
Well, we see graphene as like a like you showed earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an open air kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's a lattice structure.
right,
But think of business the same way. We're thinking in big chunks. We're thinking it the wrong way. Maybe if you put it in a lattice structure, how fast does it move? Because the reaction speed of bismuth, from what I understand, is it's through the roof.
right. So if that's the case, and you can somehow fabricate a very, very thin nano layer of bismuth onto a 1 nanometer thick of graphene, you might have something there.
Yeah, because you don't need the crystal form. You just need the lead form.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say this. I think you're both right. And as much as I hate to admit it, and I should probably do it when I have a camera, I'm going to have to eat some crow. Sal Pius may be correct on one of his patents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hate saying it because I called the poor guy a hack. You still think you're a hack, Sal? You're like my Uncle Sal. I'm fucking telling you. Anyway, but I may have to admit that I was wrong because I've been doing experiments with crystals, and what I'm seeing, it's starting to correlate with that one patent. And I'm telling you, if you guys figure out a skin, I think we may actually have the basis of Otis T. Carr's system that Tesla found, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So maybe Sal, and this is one of the reasons why I called the poor guy a hack, was because his patents are all individual pieces of Otis T. Carr's design. But Otis T. Carr's design was Nikola Tesla's design. He went to Otis. Otis T. Carr was one of his students, and he went to him to get it built because of his fallout with the military over the Rainbow Project. So it's just interesting that Sal, being part of the Navy, which was part of the Rainbow Project, all of a sudden starts coming out with these patents that have very strong basis in Otis T. Carr's system. And now I've done the experiments, or at least half of it, still working on it, with the crystal that Sal was talking about putting a coil around. Yeah, I'm seeing expansion, guys. Literally seeing expansion of the crystal itself. So I've measured it, I've pulsed it. It grew, I think it was like 3 millimeters all the way around. I don't know if I want to continue with the experiment, because then I have to really eat a bunch of crawl. I'm willing, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
Well,
I'll tell you what, on some of those.
The way he describes everything, he was right, just so you know, in the way he described everything. Just so you understand that. When you break down and cut down all the gibberish everybody else was talking around him, the way he described the energy and how it builds out was perfect.
Yeah, there was some details left out and some things that were misexplained for a reason. When they found out what they could do, and Ralph Ring got involved, right, before he opened up his big company and all that, they, of course, sold it to the United States government, or confirmed everything the government wanted them to confirm. And now he works exclusively with them. So with Ralph Ring working with the government, they were able to suppress everything because he had all the details. He was part of the experiments itself. He was the first scientist to apparently travel in the Otis T. Carr ship out to the park and back. So it's interesting, to say the least. You know what I mean?
Oh,
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. You're building the Utron, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Utron's not the heart, from my understanding. From my understanding, the Utron is, they're very important. They're on the inside of the wing, like on the outside of the craft, or on the inside of the craft, but sort of like towards the outside of the ring. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
I have the plans, but I just haven't looked at them in a while.
It goes on the outer diameter of and it goes through those C-shaped, what do you call plates? Where
yes.
The
little transformer.
And the center plates. Column, I believe, might be a Tesla coil. Could be wrong.
Well, hold on, that's what I'm building. I already built it.
No, I seen what you built. I didn't see the Tesla coil inside the center. But I want to see your when you're done, your setup. But I don't think, I think you're missing a part. Go ahead.
No, it's the way that it's built. It's not what anybody thinks. It's the rod that goes down the center, right? It changes it because Sean did it when he did his Tesla coils and he did geometry coils, right? It changed the energy a little bit when you're in AC. Okay, so it converted just a little bit differently to a non-harmful AC where you can go over and touch the top of your coil, like when it's on, like full on blasting 12-inch lightning bolts. You can just put your hand through it.
Yeah, because it's at such high voltage.
Yeah, so but that's not normal for a Tesla coil, because with a normal Tesla coil, you'll just shock the living daylights out of you. Okay.
Yeah, because that's pulse DC. So
it was changing the energy a little bit. So check it out. Anyway, when I built the thing, I built it bipolar. And usually there's a spot in between that you leave open when you do Otis T. Carr's one. But the cool thing was the way it builds out is the primary on it is just a ring around it. So think about it this way. If you have capacitors out there and you have this plate and all the capacitance goes into the ring itself, all you're doing is tuning the number 1 coil to the number 2 coil, which then runs through the entire craft on the outside with a different form of energy using the longitudinal wave that at that point on the outside of the craft. Now you can understand why Art's Parts would come into it when Jerry was saying it, when he said aluminum, bismuth, aluminum. Then you start to get the whole picture of what's going on here.
Okay, so now the plans for Otis T. Carr's system don't coincide with the story Ralph Ring talked about unless we're all missing something. Because the way that Ralph Ring described it,
different ship.
Could be. It could very well be, because that's the one I'm talking about that Tesla directly designed. When he wrote his book about the light, there's allegory in it that talks about it. In his notes, it refers to it as being a code. So it makes me wonder if Ralph Ring was actually in the real ship. The Otis T. Carr thing is based on similar principles and probably works, but not the same thing.
I think it's like T.T. Brown's craft, where it shows you the basic principle of it, but there's an underlying understanding that gets you to the next level to the ship that they really built.
Well, the reason why I bring all this up is because lately the big talk has been how, with Hal Puthoff and his study into consciousness and 0 point, because, and this is the reason why I think so, the Ralph Ring story talks about how when they sat in the ship, a crystal came out of the floor of the ship and it started luminescing because there was a flow of energy around them, which looked to them like in the skin of the ship itself. Then the walls became translucent, but they had to literally mentally focus on where they were going in order for the ship to be there and then brought back. So if Hal Puthoff is studying consciousness in 0 point and Ralph Ring's story is true, then it makes me wonder if Tesla actually figured out how to consciously connect to a ship.
Considering his thought on crystals was they were alive, then that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, towards the end of his life, he was big on crystals. He was doing a lot of study on them. That geometry. He changed Tesla coils and he went into geometry.
Why do you think we're going that direction? Sorry, go ahead.
I know why I'm headed in that direction, man. You should do that. Oh, I can't say that yet. There's building things. Okay, I'm just building things. We're gonna have fun this year. I'm telling ya. Sorry, Lulu. Go ahead.
No, I was asking, is this a theoretical ship or a real ship that you're talking about?
Well, according to Ralph Ring, it's real.
Okay.
He actually, I think it's called Ralph Ring Aeronautics or something like that. He built a company. The guy's a multi-millionaire in aeronautics, and I believe it had a lot to do with that story and his background in flight, right? Because he worked with Otis T. Carr. I'm not sure if he worked with Tesla or not, but it's a very interesting story. It's been floating around for quite a while, since 2008, maybe. Even Bedini brought it up once. So, I don't know. Is it real? I guess we'll never really know unless we build something similar. That's why I say I may have to eat crow because of Sal Pius. If what I'm seeing and it continues to show what I'm seeing, I'll have to eat crow because he's correct. But then it makes me question whether or not Ralph Ring was correct and that we may need to shift our direction a little. But I want to see the Utron system put together because I used to believe that thing could work just by the very description of it. So we're all working on crazy stuff. Let's get crazy. You know?
There's a lot of crazy here.
Yeah. So it's right here.
Yeah. You're at the right channel.
Normal never made it to a difference. You gotta have, have a different vision to
Yeah,
the world for it, for things to happen, for things to move.
this group, we don't think outside the box. We stand on it and smash it. Sorry.
I was thinking that earlier today. We build homes that look like boxes so we could be inside the box, but while
Yeah.
we're building it, we're outside the box.
Go figure.
Right? Like we when we're outside, like it's outside of the box. So it's kind of,
And
just
you
kind
know,
of
if they
funny.
built houses like domes, no storm would be able to touch it. You'd never lose your roof. Snow couldn't accumulate up top. It would be 100% different. But no, we got to live in boxes.
If you look at nature, there's never any straight lines.
Nope.
It's always curved.
Swirls and circles.
Fibonacci codes.
Yep.
Fibonacci code, spiral. Yep. You'll
Yeah, lots
never
of spiral.
you'll never find a straight line in nature.
You might find a straight line making a circle. Figure that one out.
Oh.
It sounds like Gerald got wood and turned in circles. That's what it sounds like.
That's it. Hey, leave my wood out of this. It's not always solid. Sometimes like pulp. Come on.
Oh man.
I had to. I apologize. I'm horrible.
I bet Bernie found the same thing, and he was stripping it over there at the airport.
Yeah, just on live
Just out of the
camera,
blue. Live
care
camera,
less,
just-
man.
Free spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Life is short. Life is short.
Oh man. What makes you wonder now when you're talking about that oasis hole in the middle of the desert? You know what I mean? Is that video going to be X-rated?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
Let's
taping
hope
shot.
not. I like Bernie, but I don't want to see his X-rated.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see him doing that at Julia's house, and then he might not come back home.
Oh God, he just videos his crack as he goes. Oh, that's funny.
No, he's Canadian. There's 3 holes.
Oh my God. What's happening?
You lost control. We all lost control. I'm sorry.
What's happening? No.
Gerald, you're gonna like this one since you're,
Uh-oh.
you're big on the religious things.
Uh-oh.
I was doing a little bit of research. I'm gonna tell him about the place of the future. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I came up to, if we're going to be looking, if wherever we're standing, and if we look between the constellation Virgo and Cygnus,
Yeah.
we're looking out towards the future. Although all search engines say we're looking into the past, but that region of space is actually where the planetary motion is headed towards. So that's the future space. But if you think about it, the Virgo is Virgin, like the Mary, Jesus' mother, the Virgin Mary, and Cygnus is the duck. But if you look at the constellation, it looks like a cross.
Okay.
Interesting,
That
right?
is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So the future space of humanity is going to be in between those two constellations, the cross and the Virgin Mary. Interesting, huh?
That is interesting.
Yeah. So
I
this is just,
I kind of wonder if our consciousness, that's not quite the right word I'm looking for. Our spirit is influenced by the constellations being in certain patterns, kind of like sacred geometry, right? So if you know how the Mercury will go behind this planet or be in retrograde, or I don't know enough to. I know enough to know I don't know enough on that subject, other than when they're all doing their configuration thing. If there's a sacred pattern of geometry within that, does that affect our spirit in some way, shape, or form? So, like you said, we're headed to the future between the Virgin and the Cross. Well, is that going to affect our spirit, which again will affect our consciousness of what we're going into in the future? Just makes one wonder, right?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's already pre-written and we're just observing the journey. But it's all
Oh yeah.
already, we have it in our books. We have it in the universal
Matrix.
code of
We're living in
existence. But we
Matrix reality.
only like tap into it when we start to search, when we want to know, and then you start to see the patterns. It's like already there, but we just live our lives so oblivious to it when we don't see it, and until we focus onto things, then we start to realize that there's a pattern, and
Well,
and the whole journey is filled with
yeah,
these patterns.
you're absolutely right. We know the destination, but
Yeah.
that's why the journey is the whole purpose. It's how we live our lives that matters, not how long we live it or what we end up in at the end. It's how we live it.
Yeah.
That's to me what matters. I don't know. I want to be known for not being a this or that, if you know what I mean. I don't want to be saying certain words like, nobody goes full. I shouldn't say that. That's a bad line to say, actually. You ever seen Tropic Thunder? Okay, Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's talking to him in the bush. This is just a reference from a movie, everybody. Don't get all cancel on me, all right? And he's looking at him and he goes, "Oh, you went full retard." Nobody goes full retard. Stupid retard, okay. Full retard, nobody goes. It was hilarious. I'm
I
sorry.
remember that.
Right?
That's a really
I
funny
laughed
movie.
so hard.
One of the best movies, man.
I know, the old movies. Because we can laugh at ourselves then. Shit, I'm going to take pictures before I get my new teeth. You guys are going to laugh your ass off. I look like a redneck from I don't even want to say. I'm missing so many of my front teeth right now because I've been getting work done on them. I got one tooth to the left. I got two teeth, 6 teeth over to the right. You'd laugh, man. You'd laugh. But
Hey, I remember those days, man. I got dentures in here, buddy. I know it.
Yeah, I'm working on those right now. So
mine are original.
Oh, lucky you.
Mine are original.
There you go.
Lucky you. I was
mine is fake as it could be.
There you go. You need to clean them, you throw them in a cup.
Do a close
Nathan, you want to freak your grandkids out? You have grandkids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a grandpa. He was like, I could bite my own ear. And I'm like, what do you mean you could bite your own ear? He would take out his denture and clip it on his ear. And I bit my own ear. That freaked me out when I was a kid.
My father once was in the washroom and my mother said something to him. He laughed so hard. His dentures flew out of his mouth and landed in the toilet.
Nice.
Oh, God.
I guess I'll have to get used to that. Not the toilet part, but
Oh, man. When I was eating chicken wings, I had to take out my dentures, right? And the heat, you don't understand how much of a barrier those teeth are, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you take out your denture and all the heat goes to your gums. So your whole mouth, including your tongue and under it, over it, is on fire. As soon as you go with the hot stuff.
It's probably more sensitive, too, because it's always covered shortly, right? Yeah.
You must have been in pain.
You're going to love that one.
You must
I can't do hot wings. Sorry, go ahead.
You must have been in so much pain.
Oh, my God, dude. It was horrifying because it was like, okay, we had some ones that were not so bad. So I'm like, oh, my God, I might get through this night and not die. And then we had ones that are like super scorch yourself, right? So I got through that one and I'm thinking, man, it took me like 5-10 minutes, but I got through it. And then we put in some other thing in there. It
was the fourth bottle you got into.
Oh my God, dude, that was horrifying because it didn't taste bad going down. Okay, But
It's
the
the
heat,
after
It's
effects.
the after.
oh my God, it was so bad.
The after
30 minutes
effects.
of hell.
Couldn't
That's
do it,
what I
man.
went through.
Couldn't do it. I don't know how you do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do it again, and then we're going to get slushies, and
Slushies.
we're going to chug them and see whose brain freezes first. You know what I mean?
Or who pukes first?
Yeah.
After all those wings?
Oh,
I want to
yeah,
see
I
that.
mean, you're loving that, huh?
Well, I
Yeah.
can't be doing it, but I'll watch.
Be on the toilet for the whole
The
night.
things, yeah, the things I do for my channel, huh?
Hey, teach your own, man. I couldn't. So all the power to you. Hot wings are hard.
Shit.
Smoking.
Oh, it was smoking that night. I'll tell you that. That thing was on fire.
You'd
Oh,
be for
man.
3 days for me, man.
I needed a bidet, if that tells you how bad it was.
Oh,
A permanent wash.
Fire hose, never mind. That's a lot of heat.
wow.
That would be hilarious. The cops show up and you got a hose in your ass.
Vaseline, a bottle of Vaseline on the side.
You may not be going to the hospital. They may be bringing you somewhere else after that.
That's hilarious. Oh God, my face is hurting.
You guys
already.
ever seen that movie UHF?
Yes.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
a Weirdo Yankovic movie.
Yeah.
Do you remember the little kid Billy drinking from
Oh,
the
yeah.
fire hose?
Yeah. He's holding fire hose. Yeah.
You reminded me of it, Nathan. It's like the guy's standing there and he's like, Billy, you win. You get to drink from the fire hose. And he cranks it on into his face and sends him flying.
Launches the kid across the room.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Bad comedy, but just funny.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Just a show note: next week we're not doing a show, so it'll be the next following Friday. So
you're gonna be in Calgary next week?
Yeah, I'll be in Calgary next week. So
You
holidays.
doing videos?
I might try to do something out there. I don't know yet.
Yeah,
it's more for sightseeing and
nice.
Finish off the summer. So,
I hear
anyways,
that.
everybody, thanks a lot. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Good talking to you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Mike.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Not on everybody.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay.
Later.
Take care.
Everyone. Bye. Good show.